listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk only on Paranormal Experience Radio. Broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Welcome back from our second break. This is Paraversal Universe on WBHM Digital Broadcasting. Also heard on WCET FM in the Rift. We're your hosts, Kevin and Jennifer Malik. Before we get back to the show, we want to tell you all that we are on Twitter as the NWPS and MeWe as Paraversal Universe. Our like and group pages on Facebook are under various headings as well. Having said that, check out our Society's like page on Facebook, the Northern Wisconsin Paranormal Society Limited, as well as Jennifer's like page, Jennifer Malik, Psychic Demonologist. There are two Facebook group pages on Facebook we want you to check out. The Ultimate Conspiracies group page is one, and Lake Monstrosities group page for Aquatic Mysteries and Wonders is another. Feel free to join them both. We'd love to see you there. And of course, the prospective networks we're on also have Facebook group pages. So go check them out as well. This segment is brought to you by the book Trail of the Sasquatch, A Shaman's Journey, by cryptozoologist and Iroquois shaman Don Young, who is also a member of the NWPS. Check out his Facebook group pages, Kindred Forest and Indigenous Americas. Any comments for this week's show can be addressed in the chat room. Let's get back to the show. We're talking to author of Weird Massachusetts and a whole bunch of other books, Jeff Belanger. Jeff, are you still with us?
I am in spirit.
All right. So, once again, we were discussing TV and whatnot, and you were involved with 3 different Zach Baggins shows, I guess we can call them.
Sure, yeah.
Paranormal Challenge, Aftershocks, and Ghost Adventures.
Yep.
The other 2 are no longer making new content, but Ghost Adventures still is.
Yeah. It's been 11 years. Well, we just hit our 10-year anniversary in, I believe, of the airing, I think was October. So we're moving into year 11, which is crazy. Crazy.
I can remember when they first came out.
Yeah.
Their first episode. We watched their first episode.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Jennifer weren't together. I watched it, but
you didn't read the credits, did you? Otherwise, you'd be like, "Wow, Jeff, I remember seeing your name in the credits. That's cool. You worked on it." No, it's fine.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, at first it was, just the idea of them 3 going out and doing that, in that way. Of course, we don't paranormal investigate as a society, in the identical way.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah.
But it certainly has helped shows like Ghost Adventures and of course like Ghost Hunters and all them shows have certainly helped bring paranormal to the surface to the point where it's not taboo like it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's done that. And I get it. And, Ghost Adventures has changed a lot over the last decade. It's not as confrontational as it used to be, but, it's totally cool. Those guys investigate the way they do it. I do it differently when I'm doing it. And that's the beauty of it. There's no one way to do it. But yeah, that show has become like this kind of cultural phenomenon and has lasted longer than any other. Run longer and is still going. And it's really, it's pretty interesting to work on it and see it change and evolve. And one thing that I appreciated from the beginning is that, again, when you work in television production, you start to know how the sausage is made. You know what I mean? Right. And when you watch some paranormal shows where some investigator will be like, I'm up here in the attic and I'm totally alone. And I'm just really scared right now. And I'm like, really? You are? Because there's a camera guy on you. There's a sound guy on you. There's probably a producer up there with you. And, there's like at least 3 or 4 people up there in the attic with you, quote, alone. But our guys are the camera crew. They are the ones filming it. There's no one in there with them. So when they say they're alone, they really are alone. They're holding the camera. They set it up on a tripod. And I love that raw feel of it because to me, that's more genuine than some of the paranormal shows that can be overproduced, where they're trying to just accomplish different things, and it's all good. They're all different and bring something different to the table. But that's one thing I always appreciated about Ghost Adventures, was just that kind of stripped down, raw experience that they offer.
Yes, and they've debuted equipment on the show.
Yeah, tons of it.
Yeah. Bill Chappell is a well-known name now. His technology.
Yeah, I've known Bill for years, and I've gotten to hang out with him and eat many a breakfast with him. When we do some of these events, sometimes he and I are the only ones up early, and we'll go get breakfast together. And some of the stuff he makes is just so mind-boggling and groundbreaking. And some of it, I'm like, Bill, I don't get it at all. And I've told him this to his face. This is no secret, and I'm not, it's just different strokes for different folks, right? And I guess you can look at it almost like musical instruments. You could be like, well, I play guitar and I play piano, but I would never play the bassoon. Well, some people play the bassoon, right? Like it's okay. Doesn't make it wrong just because you don't play it. So, some of the stuff that he's come up with is just mind-boggling. And I've gotten to use a lot of this stuff in different locations, and it starts working and going off, and you're looking at each other going, so it's not supposed to do that, is it? Nope. Okay, then. Now what?
Well, like SLS camera 2 was something else they debuted.
Yeah.
We use that. We have 2 SLS on tripod, and we have a handheld. And we use protocols with them. Mm-hmm. For instance, if something comes up, if we think it's a glitch, if there's any possibility, we'll wave our hand in front of the screen, or not the screen, the camera, to reset it. We've tried to make false positives. Our tech manager tried everything from bubbles to smoke to, you name it. It was tried.
Point it at a mirror. It gets all wonky.
Yeah, it does.
It hates mirrors. So it's like a vampire. Yeah, no, I have one too. And I think the tripod's the way to go with those, because when you're moving around with your hand, sometimes it'll grab like the corner of a door. And for people that don't know, the SLS cam, it takes the Microsoft Kinect camera, and that's the camera that people use on their Xbox, where the kids put themselves in the game, where it's literally reading your movements. And that's an open source piece of software with good reason. Microsoft wants you as a game developer to be able to use it and make more games for their platform. So it's no secret how that camera works and what it does. It's built to recognize human movement, something like 45,000 different movements, like your arm, your leg, the way you swing your hands and arms around and kick your legs. It's meant to look for that stuff. And what Bill did was kind of tweak it to look further into the infrared part of the spectrum, to look for human forms and human movement. So if you're using the SLS cam and you put it on a tripod and then you walk 6 feet in front of it, you will see yourself form into like this stick figure with little dots. That's the camera and software doing exactly what it's supposed to do, right? I found a person, I put it into the software, I've mapped it, and here it is. Sometimes it finds a human figure and you go, there's no one out there right now. What the heck is that? And that's when things can start to get really interesting.
Yeah, and we've had, over the years, I want to say probably like 3 or 4 times where what we garnered it blew us away, and we were able to get more than singular evidence or singular validation, I should say. Where when if something comes up on the screen, if we can get a thermal hit on it, if we can get an EVP, if we can, anything to back up what we're seeing, of course, triple validation is gold as far as historians are concerned, right? If you can triple validate something, it's usually solid. So we always try to look for that. Of course, getting triple validation in paranormal is none too easy.
No. But that's okay. And I think, for me, I love the experience. I love the experience of being in these places at night in the dark, alone, wandering around where history left a mark. And I've told Bill, I'm like, Bill, all your stuff is great. It's amazing. And I think you're a genius. However, the only thing I really want is a proton pack. So when you've got that ready for me, you give me a call, like the Ghostbusters proton pack that can shoot the Marshmallow Man and fire him up, then we're talking.
Have you been to the Haunted Museum, Zach's Haunted Museum, yet?
No, I haven't, and we filmed several Ghost Adventure episodes there, so I did all the research on the building and its backstory. But I've yet to go. I haven't been in Vegas in a little while, so but I will definitely be hitting it the next time I'm in Vegas.
Yeah, that's
it's macabre. Some of the stuff he's collecting in there, from the Jack Kevorkian's suicide van and, some of the other stuff he's got in there. I'm like, man, oh man, you've brought in some really dark stuff. And while I don't know if I subscribe to the notion that an object can be haunted.
I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah, I that just doesn't make sense to me, that when I die, I'm going to be stuck in like, a doorknob or like a lamp or something. But I do very much understand how an object can take in the energy of the environment that it's in, and that we can pick up on it. There's a practice called psychometry that's as old as the gypsies, where you'd take a ring and someone would hold it and say, I picture a man with dark hair and brown eyes. And sometimes people are right. Sometimes people have picked up on that. And while that may sound like new age woo-woo, it's not so crazy. If you were to take a nail that you would bang into a wall, and you were to take a magnet, just a regular magnet off your fridge, and just rub that nail in the same direction with the magnet, what you're doing is you're lining up the electrons in the same pattern, and that nail now becomes a magnet itself and can pick up other metallic things. So the influence of the magnet has been transferred onto the nail. And so if you think of that nail as like the haunted object and the magnet is like a person, right? Suddenly you start to get how over time, if an object is around energy, positive energy, negative energy, whatever, right? Like just this thing that's continually acting on it, it'll almost like carry a memory of it. And then some of us who are more sensitive might be able to pick up on it. So that part makes sense to me. And once you're picking up on stuff, who knows what comes in after that?
It's like the folklore of the crystal ball. Well, we know crystals do have properties. Some crystals have properties about them. For instance, if you put ice cubes on a piece of quartz and you put an ice cube on a piece of granite, and if the temperature is the same, and the surface, is the same, the ice cube on the quartz will melt in half the time. And so we know something is going on. There's something going on with that because it's affecting the environment.
Sure.
When you think about the silicone and the memory it stores, and then you think, and we talk about like the crystal skulls, for example, how they're said to